Social injustice is a real thing. It's not made up. People who say that it's made up are either being dishonest or willfully ignorant. It's really not hard to find if you're paying attention. For example, black people and white people in America use marijuana at roughly the same rate. However, black people are arrested for marijuana possession way more. Or another example, in America, it's illegal to refuse to hire someone solely because of their sex or race. However, in most places, it's not illegal to refuse to hire someone because of their sexual orientation or their gender identity. And this results in discrimination against LGBT workers. Now, those are only two examples, but they are glaring, overt examples of social injustice, and there's tons more. But here's the thing, you don't have to be intellectually dishonest to discuss social justice. In fact, I'd argue that if you want social justice, being opportunistic and disingenuous is counterproductive. For example, if you're still saying women make 77 cents to a man's dollar, you're being intellectually dishonest. This is a misleading statistic, and I think it's intentionally misleading. However, if you're saying wage gaps don't exist at all and women have the exact same opportunities for employment and advancement as men, you're also being dishonest. Or ignorant, I guess, because that's not true either. If you say that racism against white people is the same as or as prevalent as racism against non-white people, you're being dishonest. However, if you say shit like black people can't be racist against white people, you're also being dishonest. The idea that the only thing that counts as racism is prejudice plus power is semantic doublespeak. My point is, we don't have to lie and make up stuff to discuss these issues. When you do stuff like that, you alienate people and you just make it harder for your point to come across. If your goal is social justice, it's important to be honest and clear. If fudging statistics and making up definitions was necessary in order to convince people, you probably didn't have a strong enough point to begin with. But that's what I'm getting at. I don't think it is necessary to do that, because social injustice is a real thing. Now, if your goal is to just yell at people and be a troll, then fair enough, I guess. Carry on. I mean, my personal theory is that there are actual people like this. People that don't actually give a shit about making the world a better place. People that enjoy being combative. They just like having an adversary. And this is on both sides of the coin, no matter what your stance is. But I don't think this us versus them mentality is very useful. Like, if someone makes something that you find offensive, your response shouldn't be to paint that creator as a bigot and try to ruin their career. Like, how does that fix anything? All that really does is serve your thirst for vengeance, which I find to be non-constructive and short-sighted. Like, probably that creator is not your enemy. People who make art sometimes make stuff that is rude or offensive or brash, either to intentionally shake things up or because they want to express a dark side of their imagination. And everybody has a dark side of their imagination. Even you. Artists are different than other kinds of people in that they express those parts of their psyche through their work. I mean, it's possible that Taylor Swift is a slut-shaming, man-obsessed, vindictive heartbreaker, but probably she's just a songwriter who uses her art to express facets of her imagination that may sometimes be problematic. Even outside of art though, if someone makes something that you think perpetuates social injustice, our job is to honestly engage them, providing criticism where necessary, but also making sure that we have all the facts. Social injustice exists because of social conditioning and social norms that have developed over years of systematic inequality. It's not because there's some secret society of evil white men plotting and scheming to ruin everyone's lives. Our job should be to educate and transform the way people think. Not to go straight Batman and eliminate all the evil people one by one until bigotry just doesn't exist anymore. Finally, it's important to realize that we are all different and we will not always agree on how everything should work. The moment that you think you have 100% of everything figured out is the moment you should no longer be taken seriously. If you're unwilling to have your views challenged by thoughtful debate, you're not helping anybody. That's just me though. Thank you for watching my video. If you have an idea for a video topic, drop a comment. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to all of the new subscribers. How you doing? If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like my hair.